You know, in life, we all like choices. Different options, different flavors. Think of an ice cream parlor, for example. Well, on today's episode, we're at Arctic Lodges and we have the same choices of species to chase on the fly. Trophy northern pike, trophy lake trout, Arctic grayling, walleye, even lake whitefish. We're pretty confident we can get a trophy northern, a good-sized lake trout, the Arctic grayling. The two challenges will be the W species, the walleye and the lake whitefish. Join me, let's see how I do. Fish on, big fish. I saw that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good fish. That's why you come to Arctic Lodges. One of the many species available. There she is, into the bucket. Woo! How is that for an Arctic Lodges pike? Oh, let's get her back in the water.
For northern pike, the average size is about 35 inches. You can almost be guaranteed a 40-plus inch pike during your stay, but the odd time we have some guests that can catch a 50-plus inch pike.
Come to the pig pen, Reindeer Lake, Arctic Lodges. Wow.
Ooh, that's a nice size fish. What?
Absolutely fantastic.
The new fly fisher is supported by Tourism Saskatchewan, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada,
We are pleased to announce that we will be boarding shortly. Please make your way to gate 138. Please make your way to gate 138. Thank you.
Our journey to Arctic Lodges began with an early morning flight from Saskatoon International Airport. After checking in, I boarded the aircraft for the short 2-hour flight to the lodge.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 264. We will be in the air approximately 2 hours.
After a brief refueling stop in L'Orange, we were on our way to our final destination. Arctic Lodges features a good 5,000-foot gravel airstrip located on an adjacent island. Upon landing, our luggage was transferred to the waiting lodge boats. I was soon enjoying a scenic boat ride on my way to the lodge. As the lodge came into view, my excitement grew in anticipation of what was to come. Arctic Lodges is located on Reindeer Lake's Dewdney Island, just below the Northwest Territories straddling northeastern Saskatchewan and northwestern Manitoba. Reindeer Lake is the second largest freshwater lake in Saskatchewan. It is the 11th largest lake in North America and the 22nd largest lake in the world, providing nearly 2 million fishable acres. Reindeer Lake is 140 miles long, spanning 37 miles wide at its greatest point. Despite its massive size, Reindeer Lake's 5,700 miles of shoreline and thriving fish habitat are well protected with over 5,500 islands, providing shelter from the elements when necessary. It was humbling to think that I would be discovering just a small sliver of its riches during my stay. I was fortunate to have one of the lodge's most senior guides, Peter, for my first foray on the water. The weather was unseasonably warm, but Peter was confident we would be at least able to catch pike and lake trout during this initial exploratory trip.
There we go. Fish on. Big fish.
There you go.
Big fish.
That's the guy we're
on the
looking
leech.
for.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good fish. I'll clear the deck before this fish wakes up and realizes. Get that line out of the way so I don't step on it. Peter's just had us cruising these bays. Water temperature makes a difference. This bay is warm in the low 60s, 64. We've seen lots of fish cruising. Started with red and white, but would follow but not take. And then Peter suggested maybe something dark, more natural, like a leech pattern. And I saw this. They look like logs on the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. Until they move.
Whoa!
Until they move.
Now we're going places.
She may have another run, so watch out.
Yeah, they usually have the last sort of...
Yeah, one more.
Oh, that's a big fish. Holy smokes, that's a big pike. Not a happy pike. And there's that last rush Peter was talking about. Hopefully it's the last rush. Oh, tuck the butt under my forearm to get more arm strength into this. Big, strong fish. Whoa, is this a big fish? Woo! That's why you come to Arctic lodges. One of the many species available. There she is. Into the bucket. Woo! Yes! That is a northern pike. How is that for an Arctic pike? Arctic lodge's pike. Oh, let's get her back in the water. Look at that thing. She's almost 8 inches wide across the head. Big old girl, probably in here to spawn.
Yep.
Got a few love scars on her. Oh, there she goes. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here. We've got a 9-foot 10 weight with a floating line, a bass bug taper, short aggressive taper, big head. It's going to turn these flies over. We've got wind, big flies, big fish to contend with. And we've got our predator leader with the 80-pound fluorocarbon bite tippet. Very strong and bite resistant. It adds an element of stealth. You could certainly use knottable wire tippet as well. We started with black and white. They were following but weren't interested, and then totally went the other end of the spectrum. Got a big black bunny leech. Could represent a leech, could represent an immature burbot. It just swims and moves. It looks good. And then, of course, we've got the little snap links here. They're really a great way to do these big flies, because you can change flies in an instant. Just unsnap the link, slide the fly off, put a new one on, and you're back in the game. So that's what we're using. Simple setup, but it's working. Whoa, there we go. What do we have? Could always, hoping for a lake trout. Ooh, yes.
Conditions had changed with the passing of a cold front. Air temperatures had dropped, clouds had rolled in, wind had changed direction and increased in speed. As we headed out for the day, conditions were unsettled, with the promise of getting better as the day progressed.
So yesterday was our first day on the water, exploratory day, see what flavors of fish we could catch here at Arctic Lodges, sitting there on Reindeer Lake, and we know we can get pike and lake trout, and we're pretty confident we can get at least 3 other species on the fly. So today the weather has changed. Yesterday was sweltering hot. Today we got some cloud cover, which should bring the fish on for the bite. That change in systems is always good. So we're optimistic we're going to be able to get them. We're going to focus on northern pike right now.
The aggressive disposition and chance of something huge makes chasing pike on the fly such a key component of any Arctic Lodges experience.
All right, so we tried the black bunny leech. That worked for us yesterday in the sun. We've had some follows, but nobody's really happy about it. So now we're going to change up. We're going to go with red and white whistler. If that doesn't work, we'll go to this chartreuse bulkhead. And if that doesn't work, we'll try some fire tiger-like colors with this pike slider.
Here we go.
Is that a fish? I think so. Yep. Logs don't move unless they eat your fly. So Pete's been doing a great job just drifting us parallel to the shore. I don't want to cast the fly through the middle of the boat, so I've been laying a back cast parallel to the shore so the fish get that nice broad profile that cover a lot of prime water and they can come out and ambush. And changing to this white flash tail whistler seems to have been the ticket. This is good fish. Taking line, taking line. Still haven't seen it yet. It's still going. Lots of energy.
Yeah.
Wants to be a big fish.
Acting
Out
like
to
a big
sea
fish.
again. All that line recovered. These northern Saskatchewan fish in these cold environment, prime growing conditions, lots of energy. There he goes again. For those who think pike can't pull line, come to northern Saskatchewan, come to Reindeer Lake and see what we think. Pete might be able to just, whoa! We must have seen you before, Pete. Remembers?
Oh, yeah.
They give their... There we go. Just unbutton them. Beautiful little fish. Gorgeous.
Nice, beautiful pike.
Yeah, he's in great shape. Yeah, that was a dark spot.
Oh, yeah.
Good eyes, Pete. Good eyes.
That's probably the guy we missed there earlier.
Pete says to me, check your 10 o'clock. Looks like a dark spot there. So I flopped the fly about 5 or 6 feet ahead of that dark spot, stripped it through, and as it got near the dark spot, it kind of changed. The white mouth opens up and inhales the fly. Got to see the whole thing, the take. Because we had come through this area a little earlier and Pete had said he'd seen some larger fish moving around, so hoping this might be one of them. Looks a little, yeah, that looks a little bigger. Yeah, took that flash tail whistler without hesitation. Bead chain eyes. Make that fly pitch up and down. That's where it gets its name from too, the whistling sound. As you cast bead chain eyes, the little holes in them, the wind causes them to whistle. Now we're into the middle rounds of this fight. Just trading body blows. See whose body shots win. Maybe high 30s, Pete?
Yeah, I'd say maybe, I'm thinking around 37.
Yeah. They always look a little bigger when they first go flashing by the boat.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that looks bigger. Not that I'm complaining. The average size in reindeer is impressive. All right, let's see if we can do this again, Pete. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
Bring that nose over. Oh.
Come on. Nope. Still got a little bit of jam left in it.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa of pike here will not quit.
All right.
Come on, girl.
Here we go.
Oh, into the bucket. There you go. All right. Yeah. A little bit of a rest. Take that fly out of your face. Fly should come right out. It has.
Perfect.
Let's have a look at her. Oh, that's a good fish.
The other side, yeah, right there. Down.
There we go.
Got it?
Look at that. How is that for a quality fish? You gave up a good fight, girl. Let's get you back in the lake. Wanna go? There she goes. Come on, swim.
He's good.
There she goes, nice and lazy, off into the sunset.
Oh, something
there. There we go. Something ate it. I saw the belly roll. Oh, we had cast in and had a fish follow the fly right to the boat and just couldn't convince it to eat. And then we found out we had weeds on your fly, which any kind of debris they'll be interested in, but of course they don't like salad with their protein, so wouldn't take it. So clean the fly off, threw it back in, and this big brute came out and ate the fly. And we had a fish as big or maybe a little bigger follow it out. So if we're successful landing this one, we're going to go back in there and see if we can create the double header out of it, because that other fish was definitely interested in what this one had in its mouth.
She might go for another run here. Oh.
Right into the basket. Well done, Pete.
Yeah.
Whew.
On our third day, we decided to shift our focus to lake trout. We began by targeting rocky points, drop-offs, and the deep water adjacent to them. Sandy points and the drop-offs along their edges also proved to be great lake trout locations. The sounders, common to all lodge boats, were invaluable. Not only to locate fish, but perhaps more importantly to let us know water depth, which guided both my line choice and sink times. I chose a fast-sinking Type 6 fly line coupled with a stealth leader featuring an 80-pound fluorocarbon bite tippet. Bite tippet is a necessity, as having a pike bite off the fly is a distinct possibility. I used a fast-paced strip retrieve, moving the fly aggressively through the water. I was always prepared for a solid take, as lake trout are just as aggressive as pike. I utilized a number of flies in a range of colors, including red and white flashtail whistlers, my own synthetic bulkheads in chartreuse and bright orange, as well as chartreuse and white half and halves.
So whenever you go fishing, weather is always your constant companion. You have good days of weather and you have bad days. And today we've got a System's moved in, it's brought in overnight. We had some heavy rain, it's socked in. We're staying in between the islands where it's nice and calm, and we're gonna try for some lake trout, fast sinking lines, big flies to imitate the shiners, the small grayling, the lake whitefish that these lake trout eat. And we could hook a lake trout that's 5 pounds, we could hook a lake trout that's 50 pounds. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what we're gonna do here. Peter says we're gonna work some sandbars. We'll come up shallow on the sandbar that attracts the minnows. The lake trout work the edges. We'll see if we can actually catch one. It feels good. It feels good. It feels good. Just working off a sandbar here. Yeah, it's a lake trout. Took the chartreuse. Off he goes into the depths. And gather lines again so I don't step on it. Whoa! And flip the line around and there we go. And he just plowed it. Just casting out. Fast sinking line. Big chartreuse streamer. Nice big, nice lake trout. Nice lake trout. And they plow it. When they hit it, you know you got a fish. And right where Pete said, along the sandbar, the transition from the shallow to the deep water. Nice little lake trout. Look at the beautiful fins on it. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at the beautiful marbles, white leading edges, fly rods all over the place. I'm just gonna let a lot of energy. Off he goes. What is that? Yeah, that's a fish. That's a fish. That's a fish. It's almost like it was playing with it. It was going, almost thought I was running along the bottom, and then it just decided to eat. Oh, this one might be, looks good size for getting on the fly rod. Be nice to get one of those big 50s. Get on the lodge chalkboard. Whoa! He's just bulldogged down. I just love getting in the habit of gathering fly line whenever I'm fighting a fish. It's just a good practice even on the small ones for that day you get the lunker, the fish of a lifetime. You just instinctively gather line. You don't accidentally step on the line and have that fish surge and then break him off because you're standing on the line and can't take any line. So this guy's just bulldogged down. Just using a big chartreuse streamer. Checking out some of the plugs and lures the guides used. Told me a chartreuse is a good color, green. So just adapt to what the conventional anglers are doing with your fly gear and your fly selection, and you can catch lake trout on the fly too. They just bulldog down. Look at that 8-weights, just bent double. I'm not sure what a 50 pounder would do to an 8-weight.
He
doesn't want to go in your net, Peter. He's afraid.
He snuck by there. Come here, boy.
There we go. Oh, no. All right, we got him up. We'll steer him in.
Yeah.
There he goes. Look at that. Beautiful lake trout. White leading edges, characteristic of a char. Big pectoral fins. Big fish killing mouth. We'll just put him back. Let him get bigger. Somebody else can come play with him next time, or maybe one day we can get him when he's over 20 or 30 pounds. There we go. Fish on. They'll eat orange. They'll eat orange. They'll eat orange. changed from chartreuse, because the pike took care of those, to an orange version of the bulkhead, and changed our leader setup to accommodate the potential of having a pike eat by putting the sort of the stealth predator leader on with the 80-pound shock tippet. And lake trout will eat oranges too.
At Arctic Lodges, we have 10 guest cabins. They all have different configurations. They can sleep 2 guests, 4 guests, or 6 guests. We can accommodate up to 30 guests for a corporate group exclusively, or generally on most trips, we do accommodate up to 16 guests. We have about a 3,000 square foot lodge, which houses our dining room, our bar. We do have a poker table, pool table, darts, a full tackle shop. We have a lounge with a beautiful fireplace that's open face. And then we also have our fire pit outside. You'll often find the guests outside by the fireplace or inside lounging by the open face fireplace as well. At Arctic Lodges, we provide all meals for our guests. We do have a menu for breakfast with your classics, pancakes, bacon, eggs. For lunch, we do your traditional shore lunch. That includes our famous beans, fresh fish caught on the lake, potatoes. It's a guest favorite and an amazing experience up here. For dinner service, we provide our guests a 3-course dinner prepared by our award-winning chef Ryan Kane. Our chef generally receives standing ovations for his meals and, goes above and beyond with what he provides. On the last evening of our guest stay, they do experience the Feast of Fire prepared by our chef Ryan Kane. It's a very personalized tableside experience with a selection of dishes. It really ends the trip nicely with a bang for our guests, and it's very memorable. At Arctic Lodges, our team really wants to provide that warm Canadian hospitality. A lot of our staff have worked here many years, and we really take pride in how hard our team works to ensure our guests feel comfortable and almost at home while they're here.
One nice thing about Arctic Lodges is our rich history. We've been around for a lot of years, since 1948. Reindeer Lake is home to a wide variety of species of fish, but the main 3 that you would catch on the fly would be northern pike, lake trout, and Arctic grayling. The average trout is about 10 to 12 pounds, but it is quite common that we catch around 30 to 60 pound trout. But our largest today is about 74 pounds. For northern pike, the average size is about 35 inches. You can almost be guaranteed a 40-plus inch pike during your stay, but the odd time we have some guests that can catch a 50-plus inch pike. One of the highlights of every fly fisherman is to catch a beautiful Arctic grayling. They range from 10 to 14 inches on average, but you can catch them in the 20-plus inch range as well. One of the great things with Reindeer Lake is the amount of islands that we have here. We have over 5,000 islands on this lake. You can get out of the wind anytime you need, which is great for fly fishing, so you can throw your fly and not have to worry about fighting that wind. Our average guide experience is around 20 years, but some of our guides have been with Arctic Lodges for over 50 years. During your stay, definitely listen to your guide. They know a lot of what's going on while you're out on the water, including the water temperature, where the fish are, what they're doing at that moment, because it does change throughout the season. So ask them as many questions as you can, and they will maximize your stay. There are many great fishing lakes in northern Saskatchewan, but when you do your research on Reindeer Lake, it is a trophy lake that is well known for its large size of fish.
Day 4 began with the hope and optimism of catching walleye on the fly. Our guide, John, knew of a few spots that had been producing well. Unfortunately, due to a recent passage of a cold front, the walleye proved difficult to find, so we decided to chase some pike using topwater flies.
This bay looks like the perfect location to see if we can draw a pike up to the surface to eat a surface popper.
That was cool.
After the lodge's Feast of Fire experience, finding the energy to head out on the water again was a challenge at first. However, the wind had laid down and conditions were perfect to pursue Arctic grayling, conditions that were just too good to resist.
You know, one of the great things you can do here at Arctic Lodges after a good, healthy dinner, and you still got that fishing bug in you, is to come out on the water. These guides are more than happy to take you out. You have the opportunity to chase Arctic grayling as they'll come into the shallows adjacent to these rocky shoals and points, and you can take them on small streamers, small dry flies, and who knows, you may even get a lake trout as well. So it's a great way to round off a great day's fishing and chase these beautiful fish. I got a little size 12 Adams rigged and ready to go, and give it a shot myself. Got him. Nice take, subtle. Just saw that nose poke. Couldn't quite see my fly, but seeing the tip of my line, I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to lift up and see what might be there. And we have a grayling. Right off the point, subtle little rise. Chucked my Adams out there. Delicate little nose poke and a beautiful little grayling. There we go. Got him? Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
Light's starting to fade and they're starting to get a little more active. There he is. And while they're around all the time, patrolling these rocky shoals adjacent to drop-offs, the evening is arguably the best time to target them. And what makes it really special is they'll often come up and take a dry like a parachute Adams. So the setup is really simple. 4 or 5 weight rod, 9-foot leader, maybe add 2 to 3 feet of tippet for the aid the turnover.
single dry fly. You could also tie a dropper off, perhaps fish an emerger, and these fish will also eat small minnow patterns as well. But the dry fly is definitely the way to go. It's a simple setup, and it's arguably one of the most enjoyable experiences you can have while fishing at Arctic lodges. There we go, I got him. Ate the upper. So I've got a parachute Adams on the point and a little black antacid. He came up and ate between, it's about the third, oh, that's a nice one. Ate the antacid, he's really lively, so we're gonna get him back. Beautiful signature fin. Just at the dark, whoops! Just as it gets dark, they start coming to life when it's hardest to see your fly. After spending time with Peter and John, I was now paired with Zach. Zach, like a number of the lodge guides, loves to fly fish. Zach knew of a secluded, shallow bay that he suspected might be holding a few pike. As we idled into the approaches of the bay, with my red and white flashtail whistler in hand, I had no idea that one of my most memorable days of chasing pike on the fly was about to unfold. I hooked and landed a decent pike right away. As we ventured further into the bay, we discovered large numbers of pike in a range of sizes stacked up and ready to play. I tried my best to target the larger fish, but I had no control over what fish would actually take my fly. Zach had a special surprise planned with a visit to another of his favorite pike haunts. The last stop on my trip would be forever known as the Bay of Pigs. I don't even think I made a strip and it was on it.
Oh, that's a nice fish.
Oh, that's a big fish.
That's a big fish.
That's a big fish.
Good work,
That's
Phil. Keep up the good work,
buddy.
buddy.
You come to Arctic lodges in Reindeer Lake. Get on the leaderboard. That's a fish. That must have landed almost on top of her.
Oh, another big pike?
Another one.
Well, that's a big guy. Boys! That's a big fish, boy. You got this, Phil. Cheer him on.
You gotta like it when the guide gets excited. You guys are spoiled up here. You see so many big fish. He's got... Oh my God!
Hey, boys, when I get the shot, I take the shot. Put that seat down for me, Phil.
Holy. That's what happens when you work as a team with your guide. They know the waters, they know the fish. What a magnificent spot. 45 inches. Let's get her back.
Oh, wow. What a fish. What a trip. What an experience. Northern Saskatchewan, Arctic Lodges. It's been an incredible trip. I thank Kelly, Andrea, the entire team at Arctic Lodges. It's just been incredible. We didn't get the 2 W's, the walleye and the lake whitefish, but with northern pike like that, the lake trout, and the grayling we got, what more could you ask for? It makes me want to come back. Hopefully you enjoyed today's show. For more information on our series, especially this episode, don't forget to visit us on the web at thenewflyfisher.com. From everyone here, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
The New Fly Fisher is supported by Tourism Saskatchewan, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada.